All right, now we're live.
Okay, just say the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Alderwoman Quistamars. Here. Alderman Holliday.
Here.
Alderwoman Collins.
Here.
Alderman Carpenter.
Here.
Alderman Marticello.
Okay, so we have a budget meeting, a public hearing for the budget, correct? Which is supposed to begin at 6 o'clock. And so anyone from the public who would like to, I'd like to open that up. Anybody from the public who would like to talk about our budget is welcome to do so. Okay, we close the public hearing, which is really, okay, I guess it's, we'll close the public hearing.
Maybe they're all at the school board one.
Yeah, that's true too. It was a busy night for the school board. So we are, could I get a motion to adopt the agenda?
Motion to adopt the agenda with one resolution, one consent, and one ordinance introduction to the act. Call the roll.
Alderwoman Collins.
Aye.
Alderman Carpenter. Alderwoman Quistamars.
Aye.
Alderman Holliday.
Aye. All right. We have no proclamations this evening. We have no communications or presentations, no engineering report, and no controller's report. We're going to do a budget session, thinking that would be what we'd be talking about tonight. So we will move right into our new business.
Resolution number 2526-190, resolution authorizing the award of contract to provide lawn care services by Alderman Carpenter.
So moved. Oh, please, go ahead, sorry, go ahead.
You said so moved. Do you want me to read it?
My bad, go ahead.
Okay. Whereas the city has advertised publicly for bids from landscaping firms to provide lawn care and manage vegetation overgrowth at numerous city-owned and vacant neglected properties. And whereas the city received bids as follows. First-class property services, average $100 per address. Adirondack Customs LLC, an average of $48.61 per address. Outdoor Designs, average of $90 per address. And the Zanella's Lawn Service, an average of $75 per address, which sent a partial list for bid. Now therefore be it hereby resolved that the mayor is authorized to enter into an agreement with Adirondack Customs LLC, with said bid being awarded in the amount of $48.61 per property to be mowed twice a month for the months of May and June of 2026 and as needed thereafter. The contract will terminate October 31st of 2026.
So
moved.
I'm sorry. So I had the opportunity to speak with a representative of this company. This company does vegetation removal in the city of Albany. They've been they have a crew of like 30 people, and they're going to dedicate 2 people to Amsterdam. The bid was very, very reasonable, and we didn't want to move forward until we talked to him. And I know that Grant Eggleston had a good conversation with him and conveyed to the fire Chief Agresta that conversation, and I had the opportunity to meet with him and talk to him, and I was nothing but impressed with what the plan is. One of the things, for example, that he is doing is he's coordinating his cutting with the garbage pickup, so that as he's pulling tires and things off of any of these lawns, he can put them on the curb the night that they're going to be picked up instead of he's that conscious because they're that experienced in terms of what they're already doing. So I was really, really impressed with, I know Chief Agresta was impressed with his conversation with Grant Eggleston, but they're the real deal. They're doing it in the city of Albany. They gave us a fantastic price. And what he wants to do is, he goes, I'll cut it. He goes, I'll cut it as often as you want me to. But what I'd like to do is cut it as it's needed. He goes, like right now, we need to do it at least twice a month. And we'll do it twice a month. But he goes, come July or August, we may not need to do it at all. He goes, we won't do it at all. We won't charge you for that. So we feel pretty confident that the structure of this resolution is such that, it really gives us the ability to use him as we need him. But he's also focused on, I'm going to cut it when it needs to be cut. So first time around, we'll see how it goes, but it's an incredible deal, an incredible price. I like to thank everybody for bidding, and especially those who submitted bids that were lower than last year. But this is this I can't lose proposition.
Any questions for me? Call the roll.
Oh my gosh.
Did you see that?
Sorry. My
pen was
glasses.
It's Kelly's.
Oh my gosh.
She works for the CIA on the
It's like
side.
something.
What?
Yes.
I'm so sorry. I'm glad you.
Looks like a-
James Bond.
All right, moving on. Alderman Carpenter,
I'm sorry.
Alderwoman Quistamars,
Yeah. Yes. Aye.
Alderman Holliday,
Aye.
Alderwoman Collins.
All right.
Boy.
Okay, I'm switching to a different pen.
Resolution number 2526-191, consent resolution in support of the Greater Amsterdam School District referendum and authorizing the sale of district-owned property for residential development by Alderman Carpenter. Whereas the Greater Amsterdam School District has proposed a public referendum seeking voter authorization to sell certain district-owned real property to a qualified private developer. And whereas the proposed transaction would enable the development of an approximately $65 million residential project consisting of new market-rate single-family homes, townhomes, and condominium units. And whereas the City of Amsterdam continues to face a shortage of modern, high-quality housing options for working families, young professionals, and those seeking to remain in or relocate to the community. And whereas the construction of new market-rate housing is expected to strengthen neighborhood vitality, attract and retain residents, and promote long-term population stability and growth. And whereas such development will broaden the city's property tax base, generate increased revenues for local services, and contribute to the fiscal health of both the City of Amsterdam and the Greater Amsterdam School District. And whereas the proposed project represents a significant private investment that will create construction-related employment opportunities and support local businesses. And whereas the adaptive reuse or redevelopment of underutilized public land is a responsible strategy to advance community development goals while preserving existing neighborhood character. And whereas the City of Amsterdam Common Council recognizes that approval of the referendum is ultimately a decision of the voters of the Greater Amsterdam School District. Now therefore be it resolved that the Common Council of the City of Amsterdam hereby expresses its strong support for the Greater Amsterdam School District referendum authorizing the sale of district-owned property for the purpose of residential development. And be it further resolved that the Common Council encourages eligible voters within the Greater Amsterdam School District to give thoughtful consideration to the long-term economic, housing, and community benefits associated with this proposal. And be it further resolved that the City of Amsterdam stands ready to work collaboratively with the Greater Amsterdam School District, the selected developer, and community stakeholders to ensure that the project is completed in a manner consistent with the city's planning, zoning, and quality of life objectives. And be it further resolved that the city clerk is hereby directed to transmit copies of this resolution to the Greater Amsterdam School District Board of Education and other appropriate parties.
So moved. Any questions? I would like to say that I really want to thank the public that's engaged in conversations over this, whether they agreed with it or disagreed with it. The dialogue, I really think is very important in coming up with the facts. You know, we have a bunch of different projects going on right now, and it's very easy to cross-contaminate each project and take assumptions from one and bleed it into the other as a fact. And the conversations that we've been having, I think, has been giving them a better understanding as to what exactly we're doing. And, you know, I would like to ask the public for their support and the council for their support as well. I think this is, you know, in my lifetime of living in this city, this is the most exciting project that I think I've ever seen. And it's going, the fruits of the labor of all of it is going to be beneficial for the future growth of our city. And, you know, it opens the door for so many more other things like urban development and, you know, industry that wants to come in because they see that we have a success rate of opening of having new housing, and we can provide housing for their people. And it's the one thing that when you look around and you look at Malta and Clifton Park and Saratoga and Albany and those cities, that's how it started. That's how that started that built them up to have industry come in and want to be here with their products that help change the dynamics of an entire city. So, and that note, yay.
Anyone else? And I just want to say that the developer has been, monitoring the inputs from our citizens, and this afternoon sent me a letter which he asked me to post on Facebook, and I encourage the council and I encourage all the residents of our city who are connected to Facebook, who have access to Facebook, to please take a second to read his letter. It really kind of sums up what I think is the attitude they have for our community, their plans for our community, it just did a great job of that. And so I urge everyone to please read and share that letter.
Alderman Carpenter.
Aye.
Alderwoman Quistamars.
Aye.
Alderman Holliday.
Aye.
Alderwoman Collins.
Aye.
Ordinance E of 2026 to be known as Ordinance 5 of 2026 if adopted, introduction. An ordinance modifying section 167-4G of the Amsterdam City Code, eliminating the requirement of contracting with the off-duty police officers as a requirement for special permit for service of alcoholic beverages at parks and playgrounds, and eliminating requirement for roped-off area by Alderman Carpenter. Part 1, legislative intent, in section 167-4G, the Amsterdam City Code codifies a prohibition for individuals to carry, possess, or drink any alcoholic beverage in any park or any city street except by special permit, with said section going on to itemize criteria for said special permit issued at the discretion of the mayor when certain criteria has been met, including a provision at section 167-4G2, providing that an applicant must contract with an off-duty police officers to aid the crowd control. Section 167-4G3 codifies a requirement that the applicant must provide a roped-off area or tent enclosure where alcohol may be purchased and consumed. The instant legislation is intended to remove and replace the requirement to contract with off-duty police officers for purposes of crowd control so as to provide more options to the applicant. Special consideration is given to the continued service of alcohol at home games for the Amsterdam Mohawks. Separately and additionally, the intention is to remove the requirement contained at section 167-4G3 that the applicant must provide a roped-off area or tent enclosed where alcohol may be consumed. Part 2, enactment. Be it enacted by the Common Council of the City of Amsterdam that section 167-4G of the Amsterdam City Code read as follows. 2, the applicant must demonstrate that it has adequate security in place to aid with crowd control. 3, omitted. Section 3, effectiveness. A public hearing will be held on May 26th at 5:30 p.m. And upon ratification by the Common Council, the instant law shall become effective pursuant to C-33 of the Charter.
Any questions? Mayor, do you have anything you want to add to this?
Again, I've spoken to you with the council one-on-one. Basically, what happens, the Mohawks are responsible for securing inside their stadium during games. For years, they have done that, hiring, Chief, you can explain it probably better than I. They've been hiring our police officers, right,
Yes.
off duty, to go in there and do it. And this, probably last Thursday, you came to me and told me that there was going to be a change as far as the police officers were concerned that would greatly increase the cost of their services to the Mohawks.
Correct.
Correct. So I approached Brian Spagnola, who was the president of the Mohawks, and let him know that this change was being presented to the city. And based on our agreement with the Mohawks, they are responsible for paying for that in-stadium security. I told him that the initial price that I got more than doubled, and that did not include all of the factors of Social Security, et cetera, more than doubled what their cost was going to be. He told me instantly that he was not interested in doing that, and he would prefer hiring private security if that was possible. The one thing that made it impossible was this code. We are changing this code to permit him to hire those security guards. As far as I'm concerned, he is still able to continue doing what he did. And under the new system of hiring, having our police go there. But in order for him to do that, he would have to pay the city of Amsterdam the cost associated with that service. So that now he has a choice. This makes that possible. Do you have anything to add, Chief?
I would say that, we have not had any incidents at the games. I think that has a lot to do with the uniformed officers' presence. I was hoping that, that we would continue that arrangement as it was. I know that, the policemen's union did ask for more compensation, that their pay be go through the city for the very same reasons of income, pensionable earnings that they would have and things of that nature. I do have concerns about it. It has changed. I think that the officers are the best equipped to provide that type of security. It's a lot to go on a limb to trust any outside entity, whether it's a sports team or a concert promoter or any type of parade promoter, things of those nature. I don't like having it taken out of our hands, but I understand the reasons why.
Well, this does two things. One of the other things it does is the part about a roped off area or tent enclosure. I mean, isn't that common to have that at places like, say, like Tulip Fest or Oktoberfest in Scotia or something, where there's like a beer tent, like you can't just walk around a park or public area with an open container?
It's so that code, that specific section is a little bit outdated, especially this is a baseball stadium primarily that we're dealing with here.
But this is for this should apply to everybody,
Yes,
right?
Only parks.
Right, and anybody who wanted to do this in a park, if I wanted
currently, we
to
don't
have a
have any
tournament,
other parks that have big crowds like this that serve for alcohol.
but if I wanted to like throw a party at Veterans Park with that, I would need to meet these qualifications.
Yes, you would.
Right, so we would wanna make it so that it could be universal to any
They would need to
type
submit
of
a permit.
situation, yeah,
They would
You
need
still have to get the
submit
same
a permit
special use
request.
permit. that-
right. So would we not want that to be in a tent? If it was in a place other than,
I think that's a consideration you make
Per the event.
per their, whatever they're put on their special use permit.
in that permit, so that is separate than this?
This is in code.
Right, but the permit would go along with the code.
This code actually spells out the special use permit for parks that's granted by the Commissioner of Recreation of Commissioner of Parks, which falls into the Director of Recreation. Our special use event permit gets signed off by all department heads, which is not exactly what the code says.
Yeah.
For parks specifically. With the omission of the golf course, which falls under the golf commission.
So this is, the introduction of this ordinance. And there's a vote, do we need a vote?
No.
No?
No.
At the special meeting.
Any other questions? Any other thoughts? Anything anyone would like to share? I thank you very much for coming in tonight for this first special meeting. I appreciate your time and efforts. And we'll see you next Tuesday.
Motion to adjourn the meeting. Call the roll.
Alderwoman Collins.
Aye.
Alderman Carpenter.
Aye.
Alderwoman Quistamars.
Aye.
Alderman Holliday.
Two chiefs, can you hang on for just a second?